Hi, George here.
And I'm MJ.
And we're here with JustOneDram.com for your Whiskey Wednesday video. And this week, jumping into what's left of a bottle of Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. It is the first permanent addition to the Woodford line beyond their original classic bourbon. They do a lot of semi-annual and annual small batch specialty products, but this is the only permanent addition to the line, and it's really awesome stuff.
First thing you want to do when you pour your glass is take a look at the color. It's a very nice, rich copper color to it. We were actually comparing it to some Jim Beam Double Cut, and it's so much darker, which comes from the double barrel aging. And let's just jump right into the nose. First thing that I get is a whole lot of corn. Typical bourbon. It's just punch you in the face kind of corn.
Yeah, and as time goes on, letting it breathe, it does start to smell a little less like the corn. Well, you still have the corn, of course. You still get all those barrel notes from the vanilla, the caramely stuff. Not too smoky. On the nose, there's a little smoke to it. And real quick, back to the barrel aging process. For it to be called bourbon, it does, of course, need to be aged in the New American Oak. However, there are no rules and regulations regarding extra maturation. So with the double oak process, it supports the traditional New American Oak with, as they say, a heavily toasted and lightly charred barrel for finishing. So you do get a lot of complexity because of that. Anyway, back to the nose. As time goes on, letting it breathe, it does start to change and morph a little bit, and it ended up smelling like maple syrup after about 10-15 minutes of
we both got that really heavy maple syrup notes to it as time went on, as we let it breathe.
I've got to be honest with you, it's starting to go back towards corn again, though.
I am getting quite a bit of corn again.
Very interesting. It's a very complex and diverse
Super
whiskey.
complex.
Let's take a taste.
Again, first thing that I get right up front is quite a bit of corn, very typical, that kind of bourbon sweetness to it.
Yeah, definitely a lot of the bourbon sweetness. If you really let it dance around your tongue a little bit, you'll feel, well, you'll notice some notes in the back from the other parts of the mash bill. There's definitely some rye and some barley to balance out that rye, so it's not overpowering and overbearing. And you do get a lot of those classic oak notes, the caramel, the vanilla, the woodiness, but it's not as smoky as you'd expect.
Yeah, I'm not picking up any smoke flavor out of it, but definitely am still getting the vanilla and the kind of woodsy flavor to it.
Absolutely, and the finish of this one is a little relaxed. It's got that classic bourbon corn sweetness, a faint hint of rye spiciness on the finish. It's definitely a slow, warm finish, but without any sort of burn.
Yeah, which is surprising because this is a 90 proof. It's like 90.4 proof. So I mean, it's a little higher than most bourbons on the market, and you really don't get that lasting burn all the way down to your stomach, which is really nice.
Yes.
This is exactly
Easy
what
drinking.
I like to look for.
Perfect fall whiskey weather beverage.
Absolutely.
In the winter, sit next to a fire with a glass of it. Perfect way to go.
As far as the score goes, I scored mine at a 91.
I'm going to have to agree and say 91 is a fair mark. 91, 92, I'm a little torn. I'll stay with 92. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit subscribe, like the video, comment with your thoughts on the whiskey, what you'd like to see in our bourbon mini-series, because this is our second installation. And, of course, check out JustOneDram.com, which should be probably right here is where I'll put the watermark.
Is that where it is? Okay.
And like us on Facebook, all that good stuff. Happy Whiskey Wednesday. Cheers.